Ah, Mega Man X2. This and X3 are some of my least played X games. Not from lack of trying, but each time I attempted to get into them, something seemed to stop me from doing so. Be it strange game mechanics or outside forces, I just couldn't seem to keep my attention long enough on these two games to finish them. But that changes today, as we got all of X2's related achievements to go through on the Legacy Collection. Let's hunt some X-Hunters and stop the Mavericks from tearing the world apart. Again. X2 opens 6 months after the first, with X leading the Maverick Hunters to stop the last of Sigma's rebellion. However, little do they know that their war against the Mavericks is about to start once again. Oh yeah, check out that Mode 7, baby! So powerful it lags out the Legacy Collection, what? That's not there. It's not that slow in the Anniversary Collection on PS2 or in the actual hardware, so that's cool. I agree, Biker, dude, you're my best mate, so let's get through this and... Darn. After that tragic loss, which we'll never truly recover from, X slams his ride chaser into a Maverick and we begin the opening stage. Damn, they make them a lot tougher these days, huh? Well, right off the bat, I can tell you that X2 feels way better than X1. The dash is now a built-in feature of X, and it's much more responsive. And that simple tightening of the controls makes me love moving in X2 far more than in X1. As for jumping and shooting, it's unchanged, but the most I can say is that X's charge shot now looks different. We'll get back to the charge shot later. As for the opening stage, I think this one doesn't get enough credit as a good opening stage like X1's. To start off with, you're almost guaranteed to take damage, showing that you can make plenty of mistakes, much like in the first game, and that you'll need to jump to avoid taking damage, and to be able to damage this enemy at all, as his shots block yours. It's a simple little moment, but this one enemy really speedruns a lot of what the first level in X1 did. Then you got some simple enemies that can barely fight back, or ones that just block your path, and you play around with controls in a safer environment. Then you do this wall jumping here, and the game decides, yeah, they know how to do it well now, and tries to crush your ass. And after that, we get to full health, which is good because here's the first boss. We want that sweet achievement. We're gonna have to avoid getting hit. Damn it. So this guy, Gigantic Mechanoid CF0, what a name, is our first boss. He's really easy, but we have to finish this stage with full health for that achievement, so... All you need to know is that the head and the spike balls on his arms will deal damage, so space yourself accordingly, and after defeating him we get the achievement Size Matters Not. After a successful victory, X heads out. As X does, we see some mysterious figures watching him. These are Agile, Serges, and Violin. We'll be talking about them later. For now, they're here to be mysterious to talk about their plan. Ooh. Apparently they're missing a control chip. We'll figure this out later. Finally get to the stage select. And I'm gonna be real with you, X2 has some really complicated routing and I didn't know jack shit about it, so this is gonna be a bit messy. But let's worry about that later. Start the first Maverick stage! Alright, who's ready for a free heart tank? Wire Sponge's stage is easy for a first pick, as it's quite simple to go through. It's got some weather effects, the first of which just makes the screen more yellow. The other is rain, which blows you backwards. Luckily, we can use this to jump up here and grab our first sub-tank, officially clearing out this level. Followed by this quick elevator rise, enemies jump at you. The next area is then some enemies that more or less check if you're constantly holding right. Spoilers, don't. The weather effects come back and then that's all she wrote. Oh, there's also this scorpion enemy! Look at this little guy. I sure hope he's not placed in an annoying spot later. Alright, time to fight SpongeBob. God damn, he's tall. Look at him, he's a whole head taller than X. As for his fight, he's not too bad, though he's got these janky-ass hitboxes. Sponge also decided he needed a timeout and went to the corner for most of this fight, which wasn't too bad until he started shooting these projectiles that got stuck in the ground as spikes. You can destroy them, but make sure you don't get got. Sponge really isn't that bad, but my real gripe with this fight is that he has a lot of moves forcing me to just sit there and wait. He's got this spin and at half health to do this little angry dance where he's invincible and then shoots down lightning. It's a bit tricky to dodge it since there's not really an indicator where it's going to land, but the spacing is always the same. Shortly after, we dunk on him, and that's that. Afterwards, we get the strike chain, which is a weapon. Sadly, unlike X1, most of the weapons in X2 fall into the category of utility tools rather than strong alternate weapons. But don't worry, we'll be fixing that issue shortly. Damn, these Florida gators get real big, huh? Wheel Gator stage is pretty cool as you're traversing this giant moving fortress. Check out the background scrolling, it's great. I attempted to use Strike Chain here as a weapon and then never again. The stage actually has some verticality to it, though for the moment it's restrained to just some ladders. But right after that we get here. There's this little gap right here in the ceiling and there's a light capsule up there. What the game wants you to do is get the leg parts to get them. However, saw this performed, I was like, oh, there we go, I did it. I don't know if this is intentional or not, because it does kind of feel like cheating a bit, but regardless, we get the best upgrade in the game, the arm parts. These bad boys can fit so much damage into them. Similar to the arm parts from X1, these charge up to a further level and can charge up your sub-weapons, but now you can shoot twice. This not only feels really good to do as you can decide if you want to use the blast instantly or save it for later, the second blast actually ignores invincibility frames bosses have. You will be smashing their health bars into pieces with this. Forget all these other weapons, they're trash compared to the godly second armor arm parts. Going from there, we drop down further to use some of the platforms that move after you jump on them, and afterwards, we hop into this game's ride armor, known as the Rabbit. Unlike the last model, this one's able to charge its attacks and hover in the air for a short period of time. It's also able to destroy blocks that X isn't able to, though that doesn't come up in this stage past first obtaining it. After that section, there's a heart tank placed in the spot that also wants you to get it with either leg parts or one of the later Maverick weapons. I do know it's possible to get it if you damage boost off this enemy here though. Sadly, I'm not experienced enough in X2 to be able to do that and end up dying in an attempt, so we'll leave it for now. We got this platform here that'll take us up while we're being attacked, though we have much less room to maneuver, and if we jump, the platform then goes back down. It's a tricky little section, but the arm parts make quick work of anything in our path. I do end up jumping off the second one of these before it goes up higher, missing a one-up, but it's cool. Final stretch here, just some annoying bird enemies that keep respawning, and right outside Wheel Gator's boss doors, this fuck just standing there shooting. I really overthought how to beat him. You just jump and shoot as he does. You're fine. Alright, time to fight Wheel Gator himself, and this guy right here, he's part of the reason why I never beat X2 as a kid. He drops into, I'm gonna say oil, of the room and shoots at little saw blades which climb up the walls and ceiling. And I never figured out how to dodge them properly, but it's really not that hard. Just wall jump and dodge over them when they start climbing the wall, it's easy. What's not so easy is dodging his command grab. Now, it doesn't do that much damage initially, but you have to mash to get out of it or you'll keep taking damage. You have to watch the waves of oil and predict when he's about to jump out, though being on the wall helps you as you get a little more room to react. Once Wheel Gator is out of the oil, you can just blast him, and oh my, those arm parts are doing work. Fuck weaknesses, I'm just gonna kill you. Though Gator does have one more trick in him. That's right, he's got spins! Not only will this hurt you, but it also leaves a spike in the wall where he lands. Luckily, these spikes do not instantly kill you, just be careful where you're jumping. After that, we quickly dunk on Wheel Gator. From there, we get the spin wheel. It's also not really great. It takes too long to actually go everywhere, and the charge version suffers from the same fate, but now it's in 8 directions. Oh well. There's no time for that, as the X-Hunters are back, and they're here to slow us down. But they're honorable, so they'll bet Zero's parts that they won't lose against X. And you know I gotta get our fucking boy back. Not just for the achievement, because he's our fucking boy! But this is the part where X2's item game gets really complicated. Each one of the X-Hunters will appear in one of the currently active stages, and we'll have to beat all 3 of them to get that achievement. However, this does mean tackling stages in a very strange order because, as far as I'm aware, the X-Hunters do not follow a pattern and end up in random stages. Additionally, if you wait too long to beat them, they start leaving, permanently locking you out of getting that Zero part. Man, it'd be a real shame if something like that were to happen to me on this playthrough. Something else that can happen is that if you beat a Maverick on the stage an X-Hunter is at, they will also disappear permanently. So yeah, this gets really messy real quick if you're going for Zero. In that spirit, I went to Flame Stag stage, got the sub-tank and the heart container, but then failed to actually get to the X-Hunter fight, so we'll talk about the stage later. Okay, which stage did we actually clear next?
Frank, what the hell are you doing, man?
That's my character. I'm the trash man.
Trash! That's the junkyard for you. They also hang old Reploids from the ceiling for some reason. That can't be the best way to store these, and is a very grim sight for other Reploids. Let's not worry about that, because the start right here, you can use the spin wheel to dig through the floor here, leading us to another light capsule. This one containing the body parts. These parts are weird. Unlike the body parts from the last game, they only reduce the damage you take by 2 instead of by half. Luckily, nothing in this game hits so hard that you need that buff. But what's the trade-off? Well, X can now use the Giga Crush. It's a screen nuking attack that hits everything in the area. And by God, I only used this thing one time on a boss I knew it'd be effective for. Because the only way to charge the Giga Crush is to take damage, and it charges real slowly. And on bosses, it does a whole 1 damage. Wow, awesome. And sadly, we'll have to kill a boss with this to get another achievement. It's really underwhelming, but don't worry. More Giga attacks appear in the series, and they hit way harder than this. Going back to the stage itself, we quickly arrive at a vertical area that I really like a lot. You can either climb up these ladders or dash back and forth. It's your choice. Flows really well. And then we hit the stage's mini-boss, the old robot. Just kidding, it's actually this little thing right here, a Pararoid. Once the robot's destroyed, blast it before it can enter another robot, and you're good. It is really annoying to time your shots, though. After that, we head down this ladder, but you see that room right there, past the disc boy? Yeah, we gotta get in there, and... Fucking... Come on. God damn it. Come on. Fucking... Shit! So getting past the weird ladder controls, we enter into our first X-Hunter fight against Violin. And he's a little shit. He has 2 attacks, his ball, and some bullets he shoots. The bullets are basically nothing, but the ball, goddamn son, I cannot, for the life of me, track this ball to save my life. It seems random, but I have a feeling it's probably not. Sometimes I have to move every few seconds, and other times the ball just never even gets close to me. The way it bounces just does not compute with my brain, and I end up tanking most of the hits, even using my partially filled sub-tank just to beat him. With Violin defeat, we acquire the first of Zero's parts, his torso and arms. Okay, what was the commercial in Toy Story for Buzz Lightyear? It's just like extreme karate action. Heading back out, we jump down the shaft we entered in, but climb up to get some healing with the strike chain. Or at least, we try to. I'm telling you, the S-chain is so fucking awkward to use for grabbing items. Moving forward, there's not much left. We jump over some spikes, go through a magnet which hits trash in the way of our shots. It's really not that big a deal. Just have to fight another old robot and a Pararoid and we're home free. Now we get to fight Morph Moth. Or rather, we get to stare at his larval form because to get one of the achievements, we have to let him fully transform without attacking him once. This takes a good while, but it's good practice for learning his moves. He has this little spiral of junk he uses, slowly getting bigger each time. That's not just cosmetic, it also increases his hitbox. Keep that in mind when you're jumping over him. He also has this move where he swings back and forth and lobs junk everywhere, and I swear to God, if it didn't fly off screen for just a second, I'd be better at dodging it, but, you know, skill issue, whatever. And that's it, just 2 moves, and if I didn't suck at dodging them, this wouldn't be so bad. Though it takes nearly 2 minutes before Morph Moth finally pops out of his larval form, and we get the achievement, Take Your Time. I then quickly died because I got no health after that. Well, we try again, and fuck! Okay, this time we get through the larval phase and get to the big moth. His attacks aren't that bad once you know what he's doing. He'll fly towards you, leaving a trail of dust behind him, and after that, he'll stop, and a second later he shoots a beam out. You have to get behind him before he shoots or else you get hit. And once we figure that out, boom, Morph Moth morphed into a scrap heap. Our reward is the Silk Shot, which is actually an alright weapon, but fails to outclass the arm part, so you know how it is. Something interesting I actually found out is that depending on what stage you're on changes the projectile of Silk Shot, all of which do different damage values even against the X-Hunters. Shame I'm only learning about this now because I only used it for finding secrets. And speaking of shame, here's me failing at getting the heart tank on Crystal Snail stage. And after that, I attempted to get an achievement on Magna Centipede stage, and long story short, it did not work. We'll get back to this one, but let's go to another stage we cleared instead. Getting in here, our first order of business is to use Spin Wheel to open this wall and fight Surge Ace. Please stop praying for my grandpa. He's too strong. He broke out of the hospital. Now the Maverick Hunters can't stop him. Surge Ace fucked me up real bad. And it's entirely because of this stupid fucking shield he gets. I found out in my research for this video that Surge Ace's shield only goes up when you press fire, but not when you release it. And that's all well and good, but this means my strategy of using the arm parts to deal the most damage does not work in this fight. Except when it does. The shield is really weird, man. Because of this, I lose the war of attrition. On my second attempt, we get him though, and with that, we get 0 second part. His head. Don't worry, buddy, it's gonna be okay. Something I do find interesting about Surge Ace specifically of all the X-Hunters is that he's apparently supposed to be Dr. Wily or some kind of reincarnation of him. Because there's a lot of instances of him, like, saying that X is rock, or just having way more knowledge about Zero than anyone else. So yeah, this sadly doesn't really go anywhere, but it is pretty interesting. And funny enough, this is not the only time Dr. Wily just kind of shows up, but we'll get back to that later. Well, now we can actually start Overdrive Ostrich's stage proper. Going down these ladders here, we encounter an enemy that looks somewhat familiar.
Why, you?
Oh god, no! After that, we use the Ride Chaser here for the first time. It's cool, but feels weird and instantly blows up when it hits a wall. That's actually kind of the general thing about X2. It has a lot of cool ideas, but their execution is weird. But hey, I can get used to weird. I also accidentally jumped over this bridge and aren't able to get back, so, you know. The reason for this is so I can jump into this secret area right here. While it doesn't look like it has anything, we use the charged version of Silk Shot and... oh yeah, that's the good shit. This also gets us the achievement Friendly Neighborhood Mega Man for pulling in an item with the Silk Shot. There's actually a few of these rooms in the game and they're fantastic for refilling your sub-tanks. Personally, I use the one Bubble Crab stage the most. Moving on, we get to use the Ride Chaser some more before I lose it by slamming into a wall. I can go back to get it again, but I choose not to, opting to get this stage Heart Tank later, which is a good call because getting it is a pain in the ass. Moving on, we travel on foot, making this section feel longer than it really is. After we jump down here, fighting one of those scorpion enemies again before fighting another one, this time in a position where I can't cheap it out. But after that, we dig into this wall and find another light capsule, this one having the second best upgrade in the game, the leg parts. And these ones let you air dash. Very fun, extremely helpful, A+ armor part. Afterwards, we kill another scorpion and then ride a fucking missile, which X shoots down because he ain't letting what happened in X1 happen again. After destroying it, we arrive in Overdrive Ostrich's boss fight. His fight is tricky as you need to learn how to position yourself correctly to dodge him jumping and running at you, and because of the uneven terrain, you need to quickly react on how to move. It's tricky but fun to learn, except for the one move where Ostrich is off screen for like 1 second and then runs into the background to jump onto you. It's just kind of annoying. And I found that since I want to keep my distance from him as much as possible, I end up making him do this a lot. But after dunking on him, we get the Sonic Slicer, which is decent, but you know what weapon's king in this game. I then proceed to try and get Crystal Snail's Heart Tank again. Yeah, let's just move on.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs.
We go an ocean, boys. Bubble Crab stage is pretty short even if you were looking for items. We run into the water, watch as the frame rate dies, and then see the boss for most of this stage, the Sea Caterpillar. It's a big fish-shaped submarine that attacks us as we go forward. So if we want to, we can just ignore it, which I do. And if you listen closely, you can hear the cries of Mega Man X2 fans screaming in agony at this decision. Going forward, we find the secret stash, which I take advantage of, and will do several times later. After that, some simple underwater platforming with some jellyfish in the way to slow us down and the threat of a bottomless pit, but we easily pass by those and enter into the underwater base. Man, I remember trying to make something like these in Starbound. Anyone else? There's really not much left at this stage, just this really long upwards climb that lasts a bit too long, and look at this weird hallway I can't enter. I wonder why that's there. Oh hey, I can hear the screams of X2 fans again. Too pad past me, can't hear them. Then enter into the fight against Bubble Crab. So his gimmick is that he'll create a shield around himself, but you can make him pop it by jumping over him, forcing the shield away so he can attack. And you have to get good at this because otherwise he's going to do all sorts of nonsense if you let him. One of the worst ones is letting him spawn these tiny versions of himself to block you from jumping over him until you destroy them. But at the end of the day, there's not much he can do, and soon he's reduced to chum at the bottom of the sea. With that, we get the Bubble Splash. It's also better as a utility than a weapon, but okay, where do we go? There it is. So I failed to defeat Agile on this stage, and unfortunately, I saved right as I beat Bubble Crab, permanently locking myself out of getting all of Zero's parts and the respective achievement for it. So you know what that means, time to replay the entire game again. So let's see some highlights on the way over to the next major stage. There's me trying to get the hard tank on Wheel Gator stage the funny way. It also doesn't work. And then go to Flame Stag stage again to fight Sergis, and by god, he beats my ass for 3 whole minutes. I did go to Morph Moth stage and beat Violin's ass in retaliation though. Okay, we're finally coming up to the next full stage. I could only ignore him for so long. Flame Stag stage starts with us climbing this mountain, and we have to get this enemy, a Beatron, to not slam into the wall here. That way we can use it to leap off and grab this sub-tank. Jumping into the mountain from there, we get a healthy dose of stress as we have to quickly climb this volcano before it erupts. If we're quick enough, we can also grab this hard tank. Though the lava, surprisingly, isn't an instant kill, but it does hurt a lot, so keep moving. After that, we do some basic-ass platform before we have to trick this Beatron into a wall here. And make sure you don't make him miss, because if you do, he's gone forever until you die or replay the stage. I don't know why it's like this, but it is. By doing that, I can challenge Agile this time. When I first fought Agile, I thought his pattern was bullshit, but then I noticed how it worked, and he instantly became my favorite X-Hunter to fight. You want to bait him into attacking really high, and by doing that, it leaves him wide open. Just make sure you jump afterwards, because he'll try to turn X's insides into outsides with his sword. This all sounds fairly simple, but it actually has a very small window to work. But pulling it off feels fantastic, and to bring Agile to a crawl, getting us Zero's legs. You know, I'm not sure this build to Zero thing is working out. One more thing I want to mention about the X-Hunters is that there's actually one more. Introduced in X-Dive, we have X-Kai, which is a prototype of X's design. Having no memory, he joins the X-Hunter to discover his origin, which is basically stolen parts from Dr. Wily. There's not much else to say, I just want to gush about the art from X-Dive. I mean, look at him, it's great. Going forward, we have some more platforming here, this time over lava, which also isn't an instant kill. With the body parts, it actually only does 2 damage. It's kinda sad, honestly. We then go up this area with pipes spilling out some flammable gas. X can't ignite it, but you know what can? This enemy, just called a Morgun. What the hell is up with these enemy names, man? It flies back and forth, sometimes sitting in a place to shoot fireballs to ignite the gas you're next to, so make sure you don't let them. After that, we finally fight Flame Stag, and I'm pretty sure he's got more in common with a mountain goat than a deer. He loves to jump up and down the walls, and he'll either shoot fire at you or dash directly into you. Luckily, you can just jump over that second option. Wait, this is an X2. Just like the previous bosses, Flame Stag also has a new move when he hits half health, but it doesn't do much aside from increase his damage. You know, it really is similar.
Slap!
After that, we get the Speed Burner. There's a lot of weapons in this game that start with S, huh? The Speed Burner is neat, and its charge version lets us dash forward. Very helpful. After this, we went to Morph Moth stage and fought Serges, and I crushed his old man bones, thus giving us the final Zero piece. Finished the stage and beat Morph Moth, and then Dr. Kane says he'll fix Zero for us. Hell yeah, Doc, fix my boy. He deserves it after I ripped his arms off in the last game. Well, just because we got Zero back doesn't mean we can just sit here and do nothing, so who's next? This stage will shame me no more. That's easily the hardest part of the stage. Crystal Snail stage might have slippery platforms, instant kill spikes, and some moving crystals that could kill you if you don't platform correctly, but really, it's just this one goddamn jump to get the heart tank that's all I care about. We also get to use the rabbit again, which is also this stage's gimmick, probably more so than in Wheel Gator stage since it's actually used to destroy these crystals that X can to get progress through the environment. Also, this happens later. Man, it'd be a real shame if there was an entire X game where most of the levels were like that. Moving on, we break some more crystals and then run into this boss right here, the Magna Quartz. It's a simple boss where it spawns a little drone and later a second one to shoot little bouncing projectiles on you. And in my playthrough, I didn't think much about it and it took away a third of my health. That's what I get for underestimating a mini-boss. But right after this is where we find our final light capsule. This was the head parts, and they're just ass. What they do is show you secrets by using the scan weapon they give you, but one, these scans are very slow and can only show you one secret at a time, even if the environment has two of them. And two, you can't use weapons while the scan is active or selected. There are no weapons, only scan. Maybe one day they'll give us a good head part. Oh well. But since the second armor is complete, we get the achievement of the same name. Nice. Not much more stage left, just have to knock this crystal down, run away before it crushes us, and we finally make it to Crystal Snail. And you know what I think? Fuck this boss. I hate him. His entire fight is him hiding in his shell when you shoot at him so you can only attack when he's attacking. But he recovers so quickly you get, at best, a single charge shot off and then he's back in his shell. Also, he loves to throw these things out which freeze you in crystal, and I swear to God he did this every time I attack. What this results in is a really tedious fight of waiting, blasting him once, getting frozen, and repeating that ad nauseum. He's really not hard, just boring. He also has this attack which wobbles the screen. It's actually supposed to slow down only you, but because the Legacy Collection can't handle Mode 7, it just slows us both down. After a long time, we finally beat him, giving us the Crystal Hunter, another utility weapon. Don't use its charge version in the Legacy Collection. It did some item cleanup in the other stage, finishing up the heart tanks and sub-tanks that we were missing out, and oh boy, here comes the worst achievement in the run. Alright, before I tear apart the achievement Covert Ops, let's talk about Magna Centipede stage like gentlemen. It's actually a really cool stage with a gimmick of these spotlights in two sections which, if they see you, sound an alarm that drops some enemies from the ceiling. It's a neat gimmick that you actually have to use because it will lock you out of a collectible if you just ignore it. Also got these blocks here which can absolutely crush you to death. Oh, and here's a Mode 7 boss! They really like their Mode 7 in this game. You shoot a fully charged Sonic Slicer at it and it explodes, easy. After that is another section with more lights you have to avoid, followed by this section here with the room being built by goo blocks, and if you take too long you get scanned by this crosshair. This makes the coming mini-boss more difficult, but just dash through it, keep dashing, red line X's engines. That said mini-boss is Raider Killer. Jesus Christ, what a name. And if you get scanned, he gets more moves, up to 3 extra ones if you've been scanned that many times. But on my successful run of this area, I was never scanned, so I blast him and that's that. Except, it wasn't just that. No. This stage hurt me. Let's talk about the achievement Covert Ops. Out of all the achievements for this game on Steam, Covert Ops is the 4th lowest on the charts, with the other 3 being related to the X Challenge side mode. And there's a damn good reason for that. This achievement is actual torture to get. What it requires of you is to get through all of Magna Centipede stage without setting off the alarms once. And this needs to be done before you kill him. That seems easy on paper, but you'll quickly realize how janky the hitboxes are as you attempt this. I'm convinced somewhere out there they train special agents' mental fortitude by making them do this achievement. It's so bad. And if one of you out there thinks it's not that bad, I encourage you to give it a try. It is not fun, especially this section right here where you have to drop down to several spotlights without knowing where they are. This sucked, and it sucked for so long. I took a break, dunked on Bubble Crab again, and then used the Giga Crush to kill him, giving us the achievement Dodge This. But after several more failed attempts, I finally memorized where all the spotlights are, got through the stage, and then had a mini heart attack at the end because the alarm goes off. This doesn't count though, so don't worry. Did fall to my death though. This also didn't affect the achievement, by the way. But now we finally get to Magna Centipede, and I have mixed feelings about his fight. Now he's got a lot of projectiles coming out in a spiral pattern, which is something this game really loves to do. But that's not what's interesting. It's that he has a grab, which, if it hits you, takes away your ability to charge shot, then your rapid fire, then your dash distance, and finally reducing your ability to jump. It's cool as it's playing into the ninja design aspects that Centipede has. I mean, the man's throwing shurikens, for God's sake. So, like, it's cool this is the only guy in the series to do something like this, but I'm not a fan of games taking away mechanics for difficulty. It feels cheap sometimes. But I'll save that discussion for the Bayonetta video. Overall, I'd say I'm two minds about Magna Centipede, but he's not a bad fight. After getting slammed a few times, we finally send Magna Centipede back to Naruto and get the achievement we've been working for, Covert Ops. With that, we get the final weapon, the Magnet Mine. It's neat as you can control where it flies when you shoot it, but again, the arm parts are the world champion in this game unless stated otherwise. With that, Dr. Kane says he's found the X-Hunter base in the North Pole. But instead of heading to the X-Hunter base, we grab the remaining items and get X as powerful as possible for the upcoming match. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Heart Tank and Overdrive Ostrich stage again for being a real pain in the ass to get to, pretty much killing you right after you get it. Whoever put this here had a very bad day at the office. So what happened next? I proceeded to get extremely sick and was unable to stream for a full week, and when I got back I still had a horrible cough, so I used my model for the rest of the playthrough as well as most of the other X games. So if my live commentary ever sounds like a hamster's lodged in my throat, well, you know why. Now, let's hunt some X-Hunters. Oh wait, hold on, I gotta fill up my sub-tanks. There we go. So, X-Hunter Stage 1 starts off as a big set of stairs and you ride over a spike pit followed by a friendly neighborhood crushing robot. He gets us the second time because the walls are weird. Pancaked. There's a 1-up right here, so it's really not that big a deal if we die this early. Then go further, deal with the third wall crusher, do some more platforming, and then a 4th wall crusher, which also kills me. I'd say I'm allergic to even numbers, but I know out of all the numbers, number 1 stops me from having the most fun. We then refight Violin. You know, all the crushers make more sense now. Violin's second fight is basically the same, except now he places blocks around the arena to change how his ball moves, and while sometimes he gets it stuck, other times he trick shots the damn thing. Oh, okay, yeah, what the fuck was that? It really feels like RNG to me, but whatever, he's dead. Can't believe he's invincible while summoning those blocks. X-Hunter Stage 2 is basically an extended corridor that goes up and down through some water, over a bottomless pit, up some spike walls. Aw, they think the flames here really matter. But they don't. There is a part where you have to use Crystal Hunter to make this jump, which is weird because there's never another mandatory section like this again. And now... we get to Sergei's refight. I think I hate this one the most. Dr. Wily, Sergei's, is now in this giant staple he made into a war machine, and it sucks. You can instantly break the turrets all at once with the Giga Crush, but after that you have to deal with these platforms that move up and down while Sergei's is moving up and down, and you can only hurt him directly, and you can't hit the capsule. He shoots these projectiles that explode different ways every time, and it's too much. My brain literally cannot cope. The ADHD does not like this fight. To top it all off, this is all above a pit of spikes. This is the fuck you give me all your quarters boss of this game, if I'm being honest. This is how I feel about it. I think out of all the X-Hunters, Sergei's hates us the most, which is great because then I can kill him with no remorse. Bust out the Sonic Slicer, it's his weakness, and hopefully it'll all be over and we can send Grandpa back to his home. Okay, there we go. Jesus Christ. So, X-Hunter Stage 3. Normally I'd write down how I feel about this stage, but this note I wrote in my editor, and I think this followed by the footage does all the talking for me. No, I don't think this is possible, and even if it is, it's not going to help me. Alright, well, who's ready to constantly get this platform stuck? Fuck. It's gonna be one of those sections, isn't it? Yeah, no, I remember now. I remember why I didn't do this. I remember now. I know why I didn't beat this game. This part sucks. Wow, okay. Well, at least I get a second chance to fix this. There we go. Oh. And it's stuck again. Alright, cool. Lovely section. Thank you, Capcom. Very cool. Okay, that's all I need to do. Okay, fine. We're fine. It's okay now. So after that atrocity, you can either go up or down. But since we got all the collectibles, you bet your ass I'm going up. This path is quite difficult with lots of spikes and enemies in places I really wish they weren't. But after getting through it, we jump down here and... oh. Need to be at full health to get this. Well then. Okay, now we can get the bonus power. And what does cosplaying Dr. Lay have for us this time? Why the Shoryuken, of course, which gives us the Attack Me If You Dare achievement. It's a bit weaker than the Hadouken in X1, but there's still a 90% chance of you instantly killing whatever you hit with it, so of course I'm going to use it. As for how you use it, well, it's the Dragon Punch input, or the DP input for short, which is forward, down, down, forward, shoot. And yes, that is as tricky to do as it sounds if you're not used to fighting games. But at least it's not a 360 motion. This is why I can never play grapplers. Anyways, Tommy paid Agile a visit, and we enter in and... Oh, what happened while I was gone? So Evil Tetris here has this entire game plan of extending out row spikes, then moving around, and you have to match where he stops as he drops the spikes. And with these projectiles flying around, that's actually pretty tricky. So tricky he actually gets me. Alright, I know what to do. Agile, block this mix-up.
I'm gonna block this whack-ass mix-up.
GG's, Rip Bozo. We did it, boys! We saved the day! Wait, why is Agile talking about a master? Oh no. Yep, time for the boss rush, and you know exactly how it goes. Sure you can. But yeah, we also use Sonic Slicer to cut Wire Sponge in half, giving us half the sponge he used to be achievement. It's also not his weakness, by the way, you just have to do that. Alright, where is he? Oh, he's talking shit? Damn, big talk coming from someone soon to be in Shoryuken Rage, come here. Of course Sigma's back. Have you seen the classic series? The main villain always comes back. Also, Sigma's stage is literally just Magna Centipede stage up to the first boss. Either way, we get to Sigma and he's got Zero in black armor. My man, that is not Zero. You ordered Zero off of Wish. And I can prove it because our fucking boy comes in to destroy the bootleg of himself, making Sigma rush off to quickly file for a return, and Zero gives us the Zero Squared achievement. He then punches a hole in the ground because Sigma ran down there, I guess. We hop in to finish him off for real this time. There are not 6 more games after this where Sigma is the main villain again, swearsies. Alright, here he comes. Can I do it to him? Yeah, Sigma isn't fucking around this time. Neo Sigma, as he's called now, is very fast. As Past Me put it, it's like fighting Vega in Street Fighter, or Claw as he's referred to internationally. It's a long story. But Neo Sigma, while being a very tense fight, is really fun. He'll charge at you, disappear, teleport above you. He's got a few projectiles. It's a fun boss fight. Though I will say he does basically no damage compared to his form in X1, which feels weird since this is supposed to be a stronger Sigma. But it's okay, I'll be dealing with a much stronger Sigma next time. Let's not think about that right now. You beat him, he explodes, and not yet, X, it's not over yet! Sigma decides that having a body doesn't matter when he could just beat our ass as a virus. That and Capcom sponsored him to show off that sick Mode 7. And I won't lie, he fucks me up good. The way he moves around the area is very strange, and much like Violin's ball, my brain cannot compute where it's going in time. Like, sure, he can summon Mavericks and has this heat ray that hits me pretty much every single time, but just the contact damage alone fucked me up the most. Oh, and this move. You gotta mash to get out of it. I did not know this at the time. Oh yeah, you can only damage the Sigma virus with either a charge shot or the Shoryuken, or for some godforsaken reason, the Strike Chain. They were trying very hard to make the Strike Chain relevant. After a lot of struggling, we finally defeat Sigma's Mode 7 form, getting us the achievement. It's really over. L plus ratio plus get X mustard plus 0 is my best friend plus why are you weak to Strike Chain? It's the worst weapon in the game. As Sigma explodes inside of the supercomputer behind us, he says that each time he beats him, he'll only get stronger. Okay, Vegeta, whatever you say. But then Sigma wonders why Zero did what he did. And why? Because he's the last of Dr. Wily's creations. But before we can really dig into that, we have to escape. X runs out of the base, it explodes, and then he's overlooking the ocean, his best friend Zero right there with him. Man, if Dr. Wily can see these two being best friends, he must be fucking pissed. As they gaze over the sea, X wonders if the fight will ever truly end, and if Dr. Light's dream of a world of peace is simply just that, a dream. He thinks to himself the price of peace is often high, wonders who or what must be sacrificed in order to achieve it, he even wonders if he'll be able to make that sacrifice when he has to. And with that, we get to the credits, and once they're completed, we get our final achievement of the run. Price of peace is often high. So while I do think X2 is a bit rougher around the edges compared to X1 with the exception of the dash, I think this one's great. Some bosses can go directly into the nearest dumpster along with most of the weapons, but for the most part, this game is great. A really fun time. I think when I attempt another run, I'm going to try and get everything in a single go, if possible, 0 parts included. But the next X game, oh man, I have some choice words about X3, but we'll get to that next time.